Back in the early 2000s, the internet was much a better place. I have spent the last 5 hours, give or take, learning about how ads basically follow you no matter where the hell you go on the internet. And let me tell you, it is not fun and it is very scary as hell. So let's get into this, shall we, on all the cool little things that I discovered. So much fun, I'm telling you. Super cookies, or zombie cookies, or ever cookies, are basically cookies that are stored on your computer locally that then tell every other website that you go to .com what you're doing. But in case you think that you're safe from cookies, it gets worse, because then you have browser fingerprinting. Browser fingerprinting then keeps track of, for example, what your screen height is, what's the width, do you have cookies enabled, the max touch, the preferred dark mode, true or false, preferred reduced motion, where you're located, possibly all the types of little bits of information. What sort of monitor do you have? Do you have a GPU that has a pass-through? You know how, for example, you get those crazy or wackadoodle emails from scam artists and you just want to read what they even have to say to begin with, and there's usually in the Microsoft button saying show images or whatever else? Well, if it doesn't have show images and you still click on it anyways, what ends up happening is they find you, because the moment you load up that image, it sends a connection to their server with your IP address, and then they can get information out of you. But it gets even crazier than that one, because Facebook, as well as Google, Instagram, insert every single thing here, probably Snapchat at this point, you know, the like button or the pop-up with the embed saying the information, let's say probably even X at this point. Well, because of that, it essentially can track you and be able to then know what website that you browsed via the embedded link. So if there's a pop-up, it then essentially tries to connect over. All because it's on that website, it can then track you. So Facebook knows essentially where you're going outside of their website. It's pretty sneaky. Then you have a really crazy one, which made me scratch my head a little bit. Apparently, there's an advertising ID within your phone, and apparently you're supposed to reset it every now and then. As well as this advertising ID that apparently is built into your phone, you also have SDK files from your app stores that are apparently talking to these third-party services to then tell you, or them rather, not you, you would never get to know about your own information, of course, all of your information. The Oxford study revealed that 88% of the research apps could beam data to companies that are ultimately owned by Alphabet, Google's parents, and 43% to Facebook-owned services. Companies like Facebook, Google already know a fair bit about you, and by tapping into hundreds of thousands of apps through SDKs, they're able to fine-tune your digital profile in their database and serve you targeted ads. Because after all, it's roughly 1 in 5 that there's 20 SDKs that are linked to. Well, don't worry, an Android app with 45 million installs use data harvesting SDKs. Only 45 million downloads. Hey, who would have known? A lot of apps sell your data, and here's what you can do about it. You want to know the answer? Absolutely nothing. Good talk. Now, data. Your Windows PC is actually sending information back to Microsoft, as if it wasn't already enough, because the telemetry, as we've covered here before, is already sending you data. And of course you can optionally turn it off, but you really can't, so don't worry about that one, guys. How retail stores track you using your smartphone and what to do. This is a new one. Didn't know this. Apparently, retail stores will track your phone wherever you walk inside the grocery store, especially if you're using Wi-Fi and such, based off their relay towers, and track how and far and wherever you went to then know where you went to buy something, so they can create the most optimized pathing for you. Ain't that one a questionable one, right? Retail stores track you using your smartphone preliminary through passive Bluetooth beacon scanning, Wi-Fi probe quest analysis, and camera-based computer vision systems, not GPS, not apps, and not your phone number. But then, when you think you're not being spied on inside the grocery store, when you're driving, there's now street-level surveillance with the automated license plate readers that are now not just reading your license plate and calling it a day, they're now taking in the information that your phone is essentially pinging outwards and creating a profile on you, so they know who's in the car, who you're driving with, what you're on to, and what sort of tech that you're running with. But just in case you're feeling a little bit safer in the nice comfort of your home, how about this? Major US wireless carriers for selling customer location data. Yep, that's right. There's a $200 million fine against 4 major carriers, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon, for legally sharing access to customers' location information without consent. Why didn't we hear anything about this? In case you think you could turn everything off and you think you're finally safe because you're a smart one, aren't you? Nope, you're wrong. Ultrasonic cross-device tracking. Ever wondered why your dog would be scared when you click the website? No, seriously. Now, a new technique has been developed where such tracking takes place with the help of ultrasonic sounds, what is called ultrasonic cross-device tracking. Using this technique, advertisers embed high-frequency tones that are not audible to human ears in advertisement and web pages. These tones are ultrasound beacons, as they're referred to in general, emit their audio signals with speakers or microphone, like those used by certain apps on a smartphone, tablet, blah 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 blah, which detects the signal and reveals information about the ads you have been watching and time duration for the same. Take a guess. That indeed means that what you're watching on your TV, your computer can probably hear what you're doing. And then to top it off, you have things like replay software that basically just record every keystroke and mouse click that you do on the website. All for the sake of ads. Oh, and don't worry. Samsung knows what you're watching, even if you go in incognito. Come on, who would have expected that one? I hope you don't have a webcam attached to your TV either, by the way. Just when you think it gets over though, it couldn't get any worse. The very same companies who are buying your data are just so happening to run into some technical issues where they're not paying their bounty hunters anymore. Matthew here, but in a world where things are going crazy with ads, we have an even bigger problem. Car maker Volkswagen, for example, is blocking Graphene OS, leaving 500,000 privacy-focused Android users locked out of their cars. Since when does a car company care about what operating system we're using on our phones? In addition to this, we see here that apparently a new censorship is happening in the States, where, for example, we have less than 24 hours, and at the time of this, I'm 12 hours late, so less than 12 hours for us to save the internet. Buried inside the KIDS Act are provisions that will push online services to verify all users' ages, require government direct moderation policies for online speech, and even create new rules about private and encrypted communications. If passed, some platforms will require ID scans from all users, and some may try to deploy faulty estimation technology that will randomly trigger and cause your accounts to either be permanently deleted or locked until you fork over an ID. These systems have been a disaster where deployed in other regions and led to many account losses and data breaches. Furthermore, if we scroll down just a little bit, even on this, and I was just writing about ads, we see here that Reddit's rolling out ID verification or face scans for NSFW content in the EU, Norway, and Sweden. The age verification is processed by Persona. Some users in Norway, Sweden, and other EU countries are already seeing it also in a mental health subreddits flagged as not safe for work. Keep in mind, guys, this is your information, your identification, basically being said, we want to know who you are. Now, if they're able to essentially get a requirement on your ID, then all these ad companies can just link your ID to their ads, and then you're never going to be able to escape from them. We can see this here as well, where Google Voice now wants you to show your ID or passport to even get a Google Voice number. So, my name is Matthew. I'm just going to end the video like this. Take care, show this to your friends and family members, and otherwise, try to enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.